So Deontay Wilder has apparently officially triggered the rematch clause for a third fight against the Gypsy King Tyson Fury. What can he do different, if anything? In my pre-fight prediction for the rematch, I said that Deontay Wilder should concentrate on using his jab more. Not a lot of people realize that he actually out-jabbed Tyson Fury in the first fight, 248 jabs to 223.
If Deontay doesn't jab, Tyson Fury would jab. So he should jab with the jabber. He should jab with the jabber. He should jab with the jabber. He should jab with the jabber.
And in the first 2 rounds of the rematch, he was actually even with Tyson Fury in terms of jabs landed before Fury's pressure effectively took his jab away.
You see both men in the first 2 rounds with 10 jabs landed. 10 jabs landed.
You see, Wilder needs time and space to get his jab off, and Fury simply didn't allow him that. He kept the pressure on, which forced Wilder to rush his punches, resulting in them being less accurate and less powerful. It was a very well-executed strategy by Tyson Fury, one which I certainly did not anticipate. I clearly stated before the rematch that I expected Fury to box on the back foot and thus give Wilder the time and space needed to get his jab off.
Are Team Fury serious about trying to walk Deontay Wilder down and knock him out? I'm going to assume that Team Fury are not serious about that. I'm going to assume that it's just mind games and misdirection from them, and that Fury's actually going to come out and box his usual fight. Lots of movement, feints, upper body movement, foot movement, etc. And as such, my prediction is predicated on that assumption. My prediction is predicated on that assumption.
It's kind of like David Price. He's a big, tall guy, Price. He's 6'8", and people criticize him for not utilizing his jab correctly against shorter men. But it's easier said than done, particularly if you don't have the coordination or the speed, the reflexes necessary to be able to time your jab against shorter guys coming in. And that's the issue with Pricey. He isn't able to get his jab off quick enough when short guys like Derek Chisora come in at him, bobbing and weaving. And with Deontay Wilder, same thing. If you stand off Wilder, as Fury did in the first fight, he can get his jab off and he can be very effective with it. Tyson Fury and Ben Davison have both said that Deontay Wilder has got an underrated jab. But in the Fury rematch, as I say, Fury just didn't give him the time and space to use it, was on him constantly, and made Deontay Wilder rush his punches. And because he was rushing his shots, they weren't as accurate and they weren't as powerful. And eventually he managed to, Tyson Fury that is, wear Deontay Wilder down to the point where his punch output was just going down in general, less jabs coming from him, less right hands. And then Tyson Fury was able to walk straight in the front door without even knocking at that point. So what happens in the third fight? Can Deontay Wilder utilize his jab as well or better than he did in the first fight? Well, in the second fight, Deontay was shocked by Tyson Fury's tactics, as was I. He didn't anticipate being under so much pressure. And Tyson Fury was stepping into his own jab, which was rocking Deontay Wilder back on his heels and making any chance of countering far less likely. So he was shocked by that. Going into the third fight, he will know better that he's going to be under pressure, unless Tyson Fury is going to switch it up again and decide to move, and he might. But he will certainly be more aware that Tyson Fury has a front foot game that can trouble him, and therefore he's going to bring in sparring partners who are going to be more front foot focused, attacking him, using their jab, walking him down, etc. From a technical point of view, I don't really think Wilder can improve that much from the second to the third fight. But in terms of mental preparation and just sparring sharpness and knowing what to expect tactically, he can prepare a bit better. Will it make the difference in the fight and allow him to win, or at least allow him to do better than he did in the second? Possibly allow him to do better, although that also comes down to Deontay Wilder's mental attitude in terms of, did he accept the loss? Does he understand what went wrong? Is he really hanging his loss on the suit that he wore to the ring, wearing his legs down, on Mark Breland, on the referee? Does he really in his brain believe all these things led to his loss? If he does, then I have to imagine he's going to lose even more decisively in the third fight. But if he actually accepts what happened to him and he understands that he's the one that made a whole heap of mistakes, then maybe he could do a bit better in the third fight, as I say, just by being more mentally prepared for the type of strategy that Tyson Fury is likely to employ, having those kind of sparring partners in, learning to deal with that type of style, that type of approach. And perhaps Deontay Wilder will use his legs a bit more. Box on the back foot, move around. Now, he's obviously not very graceful. He's not very well coordinated. So you wouldn't have thought that type of strategy would be tremendously effective against Tyson Fury, but he might be able to make it a bit awkward for him if he decided to do that, move around. And remember, Tyson Fury at 273 pounds, he might weigh the same amount next time. You can outmaneuver a guy that size. I don't care how good Tyson Fury is. If you're small enough, and Deontay Wilder is a small heavyweight, he's tall and he's rangy, but he's small. He doesn't weigh much. So if he comes into the third fight, maybe around 215, definitely under 220, he might have the ability to just mess Tyson Fury around a little bit, run away from him, do what he criticized Anthony Joshua for doing against Andy Ruiz, and maybe stretch the fight out into the later rounds, maybe try and frustrate Tyson Fury boxing that way. But as I say, Deontay Wilder is not the sharpest tool in the box. I don't think he would do that because how could he after criticizing AJ for doing exactly that thing? So we'll see what happens. I certainly would be betting my money firmly on Tyson Fury this time around, but it is the heavyweight division and strange things do happen. Okay, Tyson Fury certainly shocked me with his tactics in that rematch, but perhaps Deontay Wilder can shock me with his tactics in the rubber match. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.